Okay, y'all, before we start the show, I have to talk with you about the sponsors of today's episode, Heartwise Health LLC. Are you looking to take your running game to the next level, improve your cardiovascular health, or to test your endurance with VO2 max testing? Look no further than Heartwise Health LLC. Founders Tori Parkinson and Jocelyn Frank are two experts in the performance and health and wellness field, and they're looking to help you reach your full potential through personalized coaching and science-based data based on data-driven testing. Tori, who is no stranger to lactic acid, is a pro marathon runner, a successful running coach, and a fitness instructor, while Jocelyn is a certified exercise physiologist through the American College of Sports Medicine and is a nationally board certified health and wellness coach in addition to being a fitness instructor as well. I've worked with Tori for almost a year, and her training has been a life-changing blessing for me. And now getting the chance to work with Jocelyn as well, using the science-based data from the lactate threshold testing, as well as the VO2 max testing, I'm trying to tell y'all, I am confident that I'm going to break the world record soon and very soon in the marathon. Be sure to visit their website, www.heartwisehealthllc.com, and their Instagram page, Heartwise Health LLC, for more information and to sign up. Trust me, you will not regret it. Now, on to today's episode. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to Lactic Acid. I'm your host, Dominique Smith, and today I have a certified baller shot caller. She's got more style, swag, and composure than Skyline Chili. If you had it, you know what I'm talking about. She's balling out here on these running courses, and she's coaching too. She's helping people's dreams come true. She is both Laverne and Shirley in the track and field world when it comes to her as a runner and then her as a coach. She is none other than the legend that is Sister Emily Richards. Emily, thank you for coming on the show. What's going on with you today, fam? How you doing?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, just a lazy Sunday. Got back late last night from Chattanooga, Tennessee,
Okay.
where I had a race. So had a long run today, church this morning, just hanging out, getting ready for the upcoming week. So it's
You shouldn't have to run after you just ran. Like, that's
that's what I'm
demonic.
saying. Yeah.
Like, sister can't even worship the Lord without having to go run. That's crazy. That's crazy and stuff. So we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule after a remarkable performance. Listen, we are on that sub two train. I'm trying to tell y'all it's coming. It's coming. I bet every piece of chicken I've eaten, which is everything in my life, on it. And I'm telling you, it's coming. You, I'm not even gonna say you heard it here first and stuff. Because I'm trying, and we'll get to this later. I'm trying to figure out what you don't do, let alone. So you run. I don't know if you still do this, but you help kids with algebra.
Oh yeah.
You coach two different states, now New York, and before the great state of Ohio. We're gonna get to that beautiful state
Skyline,
in a
yeah.
minute. Um, I have a question about that. And then you work for D3 Glory Days. You write for them. You run. Like, when do you breathe? Like that's.
Yeah, I've always been someone who has to just be go, go, go all the time. I have to be doing a lot of different things, lots of pots on the stove. And that's kind of how I stay sane is in chaos, which is funny, but that's why New York has been great for me because everybody here is the same way. So, yeah, it's fun. It keeps me busy for sure.
I don't know if it's pots on the stove. You trying to juggle a cast iron skillet? Like that's
Yeah,
gracious. So,
totally.
well, you are awesome, and the people who want to celebrate your awesomeness on this, God, it's June 1st. That's crazy. But and I guess the official start of summer is later on in June. I live in Florida. Summer started when they put the FL in the state of Florida because it's been hot ever since. But when athletes do amazing things like yourself, they get put on a Wheaties box. Because you're so awesome, they realize Wheaties is not strong enough. So you get a chance to choose the cereal box that you want to be featured on for your amazing accomplishments. Now, that's the first thing that's going to be done. Second thing, way back in the day, way back in the day. There was a movie called Spy Kids, and the main character, Carney and Junie, or Carmen and Junie rather, they were in a cave, and the scene had it where they got a chance to pick what they wanted to eat. They put a little packet in the microwave, hit two or whatever number, and all of a sudden a Big Mac, Coke, and a large fry pulled up onto the scene. You get a chance to choose the meal that you want at your beck and call all day, every day. Now, it is the summertime. Summertime, hot fun in the summertime. I don't know if you had it, but way back in the day, way back in the day, there were these ice pops and stuff. And so the ice pops had various flavors. Because you're so awesome, and because your times and your performances are hotter than fish grease at a family reunion in July, you get a chance to make your own ice pop. So you can combine flavors or whatever the case might be, but it's yours, it's going to be sold everywhere. So I need the cereal box, I need the meal, flavor ice pop.
Wow. Okay. Hard-hitting questions right out of the gate.
Listen.
Okay, cereal box. I'm gonna go with Life
Oh,
because it's like cover of Life magazine, cover of Life cereal. Sounds
okay.
like a big deal. It's also my favorite cereal. Um, love cereal. I eat it as dessert after dinner quite frequently. Um,
Okay.
we used to do something in college, like at the cafeteria where we would have like a cereal party where it just meant after the cafeteria and you ate like your regular meal, you just go up and get cereal. So I've kept that in my routine since college. We didn't have Life in college, like the cereal, but it's my favorite cereal, and I think that would be the cereal box I would want to be on the cover of.
Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at it. All
Yeah.
right. What about this little Spy Kids member?
Okay,
Life. Lord have mercy.
I
So
kid.
Life, I'm sorry, Life has the cereal, magazine, and it's one of my favorite board games.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're just gonna do a trifecta. And it's gonna be called Emily Richards Does Life.
Perfect.
Actually, we may have to switch that because that could be conceived in another way or
True.
perceived in another
Yeah.
way and everything. So, yeah, she doesn't do life, thank God, but she enjoys life. We'll do
Yes,
that.
that's the good phrasing. Yes.
Yes, she enjoys life. Okay, what is
Okay,
this meal?
Spy Kids. Ooh, okay. My favorite this is okay, so this is always an interesting question to me because it's kind of like the question where it's like if you were on a deserted island, you could only eat one thing, what would it be? And you're like, well, I don't know, like what's good for my body versus what I like to eat and that kind of thing. My favorite food is pizza. I live in New York now, but it's not necessary. I do like a New York slice. I like a Detroit slice. I like a Chicago deep dish slice. I like all pizza.
Okay,
But my favorite is the wood-fired kind. So I
okay.
think if there was like Spy Kids had like an uni pizza oven and they could just like wood fire pizza and wha-bam, it would be there. That would be probably what I would go with.
Okay. What
And
about the ice pop?
the ice pop, that's the one I'm struggling with. I love a popsicle after a long run, or after a workout or anything like that, especially in the summer. I usually go with like something fruity, like strawberry or mango. So I'm
Ooh.
kind of thinking like a strawberry and mango together, but I feel like it needs a third. Like you said, trifecta, things in threes usually go well. I'm trying to think what the third would be. Strawberry, mango.
And this could be a popsicle too, so it doesn't have to be subject to ice pop. We could do a popsicle. So strawberry and mango popsicle. Ooh, that sounds so good.
Maybe like papaya or something like really tropical. I think that's what I'm going with. Strawberry, mango, papaya.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's oh, I shouldn't judge anything in this show, but
You would eat it.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. I listen. It was 91 degrees with no humidity, and the weatherman said this is going to be the coolest day until the fall. So I guess I would eat it at this point. Oh. I am a pineapple popsicle brother myself. I don't know
Hmm.
why, but when it is hot, pineapple hits differently.
I'll have to try that next time I need to refill my emergency popsicle supply.
I don't know why. Like I'm a strawberry hits differently. I
Yeah,
love strawberry.
totally.
I'm a big peach brother
Mm,
and stuff.
the,
So
yeah.
I mess with the peach. Shout out to Bieber. That's where he got his peaches from. I don't know, but I'm hating on it, but I would try it. I
Yeah,
would try it. It's just the
yeah.
papaya is kind of throwing me
It's
off a little bit.
it's the secret ingredient, I think. I don't know. It might be terrible, but
But it's your popsicle. That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It sounds kind of good. I don't know.
And we'll promote it on lactic acid. Listen, if you said there's nothing you could say, you could have said the back of a flip flop or whatever the case might be. If that is cold, listen, somebody will buy that. Life. I I think I had life once, twice. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of the original one. I hated it.
Hmm. What
The
about cinnamon?
cinnamon, the
Mm,
cinnamon though
hmm.
was what was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see the vision. I understand it now. I see clearly now the flavor was gone with the original. I'm sorry, it just tasted.
You don't like the flavor of just sugar crystals?
It needed seasoning. Like it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because it looked like I was eating Chex Mix, the organic Chex Mix. They don't put
Yeah.
anything on it. And I love sugar, but the cinnamon hits different. I'm not
Yeah.
sorry.
Cinnamon's good.
What was your
Mhm.
flavor?
I like both of them, cinnamon or original. I guess I slight preference for cinnamon because you're right, it's just a little bit of flavor makes it better. But I like the original too, both of them.
See, I mess with life without the milk, which is weird, but
Mm.
I don't know because not you don't want your cereal to always be soggy. But I was like, okay, the milk is kind of taking away the sugar from it. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, well, this is not bad. And then I was out of milk, so I had to kind of get used to it. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
The wood fire pizza, that's the burnt pizza, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you like your food burnt. I got you. Like your
Yeah.
pizza burnt. Okay.
Yep. Hmm.
I know people's like, it has a nice char. That's not char. You burnt that. And you think you just made
You
money.
burnt that and then you charged $20 for it.
You burn it, you made $20 for it, and you got somebody from Food Network to verify it. That's
Hmm.
all that is. Because I'm
Hmm.
like, well, shoot, I done charred a lot of crap in my day.
But the
But
bread, like, it's so much better than just like regular pizza dough to me. I don't know what they do to it. I don't know if it's like sourdough or what, but even though it's burnt, oh, it's good. It's so
so,
good.
do you like the crunchy one? Okay,
Like,
what is the best pizza dough? Like, does it
oh
have to have
yeah.
a little chew, or do you need to bite it like cracker crust?
No, no cracker crust. I like a little chew. Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised you don't like New York. That's not the number one. That's crazy.
Yeah, I like it, but I think it's on the thinner side for me, and I like a little bit more substance to it. But
Uh,
I love a giant slice. Like there's nothing that like makes you happier than just picking up a piece of pizza that's like as big as your head.
Your eyes got so wide when you said
My
that.
pizza eyes, yeah.
I see the passion. God bless.
Yeah.
I will say this in Orlando, if you're ever down here,
Hmm.
um, you would like this place called Antonio's Wood Fire Pizza,
Okay.
and there's a place called Anthony's Wood Fire Pizza.
Oh, not to be confused with Antonia's.
But you can go either one. If you accidentally end up at Anthony's, he knows Antonio. They do the same
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
basically. Antonio's is in the Dr. Phillips area near Disney. Let's just say near Disney.
Hmm.
Um, and Anthony's is downtown. They do wood fire pizza. Antonio's outside of that burnt crap was actually pretty good. Like I'm not gonna lie, I can't lie. I was like, brother, pizza shouldn't be black. Like no, no. It's like it has character. It's like it's burnt and everything. But you would like that. I think you would
I
really
do.
like
Yeah.
that.
I was just in Orlando training last month. Yeah, well, April. So I wish I would have had that rec beforehand, but that's okay. Next time.
we should have done this episode further down the line. And
You're
then
right.
Lazy Moon Pizza.
Oh.
I'm gonna message you how big that pizza is, and you're gonna be insane. That pizza is I'm 6'2". That pizza's 6'8". I'm kid you not. Like
That pizza's in the
once
NBA.
that pizza is drop step dunking on somebody. Like it is legit, but it is you would love that. I I hate a lot of dough on my pizza, so I hate
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. And granted, I will say this in all fairness, I don't think I've had officially a good one.
Hmm.
I'm with you on the Detroit style.
Detroit style, I think if I had to rank the three, if you go New York, Detroit, and Chicago, I think Detroit goes at the top.
Shout out to my dog Eddie Romero.
Hmm.
Who there's a place in Orlando called Soto Square. It's a Detroit style pizza.
Hmm.
And he brought me a slice of their buffalo chicken pizza.
Hmm.
If that pizza was a person, we begin married. If it was a woman, we begin married.
It's good.
Like
Yeah.
we would have. It was so good. And I've seen pictures of Detroit style pizza. I'm like, it sucks. Like, why would people like this? I was like,
So
no,
good. Yeah, it's
this
really
is
good.
different. So
Hmm.
you like it better than the other two.
I think so, yeah. But I also, yeah, I think just because it's a little bit thicker and I like that. So I have a question for you. Out of the
Okay.
three, like what's the most important to you on a good pizza? The like dough slash crust, the sauce, or the cheese and toppings? Like
The
what separates
sauce.
the sauce? Yeah. Hmm.
I get extra pizza sauce on mine because, ooh, that's a really good question. I don't like when people come on here and ask me harder questions than I ask
I'm
them.
sorry.
But you see, you're a journalist, so you
Yeah.
understand. That's tough. I don't, dang. You see, here's why it's hard.
Hmm.
I'm gonna stick with sauce because, for example, Domino's, I don't like their sauce.
Hmm.
Cheese is fine, but the sauce is like, eh.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, I don't really know what they were trying to do and everything. I'm just being honest. I can't rate them. But I love like Blaze Pizza. LeBron James owns that chain.
Oh, I
That
haven't had
is,
that one. Oh wait, maybe I have. Is it like the fast pizza?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't know LeBron James on that. Another Ohio reference.
another
Awesome.
Ohio reference.
Yeah.
OH,
Yes.
baby. Hey,
IO.
Um, but I like that because it's good. The dough is pretty good. It's not as doughy, so you may not like it. The sauce is, I don't know, it just carries it. So if there's a discrepancy with the cheese or whatever the case might be, like I don't know. I'm a sauce brother, so I would say
Yeah.
sauce. It's hard to mess up cheese though.
Yeah. But I guess toppings could go in that too. Like,
Okay, other toppings, yeah.
yeah, cheese and top like if like the toppings in the bread were perfect, but the sauce was bad, would that ruin the whole pizza?
Yeah, because you got Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Man.
Uh You see, that's tough because bread is right there too. Like
Hmm.
a good dough, you can't have a crappy dough and say you're
Hmm.
good at pizza. So that's hard.
Yeah, I
So
think I'm dough. Hmm.
I would say sauce dough toppings
Yeah.
because I'm cool with a cheese pizza or I'm cool putting I go to this place called Flippers and I get veggie pie. Like
Hmm.
I'm fine with that. So that's a great question. So yeah. So what are you, dough topping sauce or dough sauce toppings?
I think I'm dough sauce toppings. Yeah, I think the toppings enhance, but they're not like crucial to a good pizza.
Okay. I agree with that. I agree
Hmm.
with that. So we are your Pizza Edwards. Can we pick up a pizza sponsorship from somebody?
That would be great.
We have to find like what is a collective pizza joint that you wouldn't mind sponsoring? Getting like sponsoring
Ooh,
you.
like a chain?
Yeah.
Hmm. That's a great question. I mean, I'd be down with Blaze. That would be
Yeah.
cool. LeBron, if you're out there and you hear
Bron, I know you listen to this and
this.
everything. So go ahead, get us tickets to the Laker game and go on ahead and sponsor the both of us.
Hmm.
We get that Ohio connection. I'm not from Ohio. I actually used to cover Ohio State uh
Oh, great.
way back
Mhm.
when. So I've been to Ohio. It was different than what I was expecting in a good way. Because I
Good.
thought like I got off the plane and it was what I thought, coal, smoke, and brown grass.
Yep.
Then you get into the city. I'm like, good God, like what? My goodness, this is amazing. And stuff,
Yeah.
good food
Yeah.
and everything. I'm gonna ask you some Ohio specific questions
Okay.
later on. Um, no, I'm gonna save the Skyline one for that little segment of the show and stuff. But you I will say this, and I'll get to the basic, how's the season going in a second. There's something that I really, really, really admire about you. You have mastered something and you posted about it that is very difficult. And you said it on the Instagram post. And I'm saying a Instagram post because by the time this airs, you could have posted something else, and people are going to be like, "Where's the post?" So if you just look on her page, Eat Too Rich or something like that, am I
Be
M Too
rich
Rich?
to run.
Same thing, close enough.
Pretty close.
You talked about running with patience and how you have run every race in your career with patience. She's the fastest D3 runner in the world, who was, is, and is to come. And that is amazing because that is so hard to do. But you have been through so much in your career. I don't want to say has it gotten easier to have patience in the midst of it, but what perspective gave you the ability to have such patience in the ebbs and flows of the season, your career, races, and not just all the bad stuff, but the good stuff. It's important to have patience in that too.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I want to answer it. I think I've been really, really fortunate in my career to just have been blessed with really great coaches and mentors and people who didn't force me to do anything I wanted to. Like I just kind of always chose to do things for myself and um not because they always gave me the choice. And I think that helped me develop a really healthy relationship with running really early on. Like when I was in high school, I used to get super, super nervous. But I had a great high school coach who worked with me on that and helped me fall in love with running. I started as a 400-meter runner and then I moved up to the 800 in college. So it was just kind of like a new challenge to focus on in college. Turns out I was good at the 800, as you said, got the D3 national record in that event. And then I think because I kind of had a more non-traditional route into the pro sphere compared to a lot of pro athletes. Not many pro athletes had NCAA D3 careers. I think that helped me just really appreciate the opportunity because D3, you do it because you love it. And that's always been a sentiment I hold really dear. So I think when it comes to my pro career and being really patient, it's so hard at this level to run PRs and win races because everybody's really good and the margin of error is so much smaller. Like you might run a PR, but it's going to be by like hundredths of a second as opposed to seconds when like you're in college and you're developing still as an athlete. So I think just really having a love for the sport and doing it because I love doing it and because I have fun when I do it and I love to compete helps me put everything into a better perspective and helps me to have patience when things aren't going so well. Because I just feel so grateful that I get to do this as my job. Like, not a lot of people get to say that, and I'm constantly reminded of how cool that is.
Is it easy to kind of snap back into the mode of, especially when things aren't going the way you had hoped, especially, you sponsored by Hoka, um, COVID happened, then you went to Tracksmith, now you're with Atalanta, that great group up in New York. Is it difficult to kind of get back to that place of gratitude when things kind of go awry? Because I don't know. I guess everybody's different. But you're like, okay, what the heck? And then it's like, okay, how do you get back to that place to where you are practicing gratitude and finding joy in the midst of everything?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely difficult. But I think the other thing that helps me is just viewing every season as different. I think it would be really easy to be like, oh, well, I ran this time in college, so I need to be running faster than that now. But really, every season and every year is different. It has different circumstances. Like you just mentioned, I've been in three different training circumstances as a pro, and that's all been different. So when you seem like you're taking a little bit of a step back, it's really just like more like that's just what you're working with that year. And so maybe I run, if we're talking about like 800-meter times, if I run like a 2:05 to start the season, and that's multiple seconds away from my PR, but that's like my starting point. So like the next time when I run 2:03, still multiple seconds away from my PR, but that's progress. So I think kind of looking at every season as its own little bit in the full journey is helpful for me, and reminds me to be grateful again that I get to do this and that I get to make improvements within the year, even if they're not like lifetime personal best. Because, like I said, that happens not very often
Yeah.
at this level. So, um, yeah,
How has this season been for you?
this season has been going really well. I in Atlanta a couple weeks ago was 0.03 of a second away from a lifetime personal best. So that was really exciting. And I know that a personal best is coming because like I said in the Instagram post, if anyone listening goes back and watches that, I've just been really patient. I didn't set a PR from college for 5 years after I graduated. So in 2022, I had a really good season, set a PR, and then had another 3-year drought of no PRs. So now I'm kind of getting back to a place where I feel like my fitness is really well. I'm really having fun competing, and just focusing on being competitive. And then the times are kind of following after that. So I think I'm just having fun, and that's really been making a difference. Yeah, it's been a good season. And then, yeah, Worlds is or USA's is really late this year, so got a lot of the season still left, so I'm looking forward to what's coming.
What did you learn? And I have one or two more questions before we switch to these kids that you coach.
Mm.
Um, in these seasons of drought, what did you learn about yourself and how did that help you grow?
Yeah, I feel like there's always something that I learn about myself every year because if I'm going with the narrative that every year is different,
Yeah.
that's you're going to learn different things about yourself. And I think maybe the most recent one that I'm thinking of is the style of racer I've been has changed. I think in college I was somebody who really liked to be up at the front. I liked to be in the mix, and I liked to um, kind of make sure I can control things from the front. But now I feel like I'm a lot stronger of a runner. Like my aerobic base is a lot better because I've been doing this for multiple years and building that base over time. And I feel like that makes me a little bit more of a patient racer where I don't necessarily need to be up at the front, but I can be a little bit farther back and just trust that I'm really strong and I've got a really good kick. And that's been something that has been weird because I'm like, that's not at all what I like. How I got into professional running was by running up front. But now that I'm in it, that's not necessarily been my style recently. Even though I've been like, I want to be at the front, I find myself kind of hanging back and trusting my strength a little bit more. And I think so far so good.
For sure. What was you were in Ohio, you were training in Ohio, where your coach was your boss, which is that's actually really nice and everything.
Yeah.
You're yelling, he's yelling at you, and then he's informing you of how to yell at the kids and stuff.
Yep.
Perfect partnership. Um, how's that transition been like? Obviously, the food got better.
From
Uh,
Ohio to New York.
to New York. But what's that transition been like?
Yeah, it was a really tough decision for me to leave Ohio because I that's where I grew up, that's where I went to college. I love my college coach. I love Ohio Northern, where I went to school, and I loved coaching the team there. I loved all the athletes. But then I got this opportunity to um, be on a pro salary again. Because when I was in Ohio, I was, just working off of a coaching salary and, making running work out of my own pocket. And this opportunity came up where I was going to get paid to run again. And I just had to take it. So it was definitely really a tough decision for me, and I miss Ohio and my coach and my athletes a lot. But we stay in good contact, and things here have been really great. It's been fun to have like other professional women to work out with because I loved working out with them, the Ohio Northern track team. But it's different when you're working out with college guys. Like sometimes you want to work out with other females, and so I have a great training group here, and it's massive. I train with the Central Park Track Club, which has hundreds of people on the club or in the club. So my training partners range from females that are my age to masters athletes of the opposite gender to kind of everything in between. So I always have somebody to run with, and practice here is my favorite part. I did spend some time in New York previously. So right out of college, I moved out to Westchester County to run with New Jersey, New York Track Club. So the adjustment coming back to New York wasn't really that bad because I had already kind of been through that several years ago. But I'm now back with a different training situation, and I live in a different area, and that's all been very, very good. I've really been enjoying it so far.
What's coaching been like this year? Obviously, you coached Ohio Northern. Now you're transitioning into coaching a team in New York. If I believe it's a high school team.
Yeah, so Atalanta, the whole like mission and model is that they employ female professional athletes, and then we work as mentors for youth in underserved areas of New York City. So I work with a high school team in the Bronx, Lehman High School. And it's my first time ever working with high school athletes. So I was obviously coaching college before and then moved to high school, which has definitely been different. But not necessarily in a good way or a bad way, just different. Um, because I don't know, like, did you run track in high school?
I did, and I coached high school too.
Okay, so you kind of know, like,
It's different.
everyone, like you probably had teammates on your track team that were, or maybe you even were this athlete that was just there because like it was like a social thing. And I think part of why I joined the track team, not just because I was fast, it's like, oh, I can make friends. And so, there's definitely more of like a social aspect in high school. People are just kind of there to hang out rather than like really excited about the running. And Lehman is definitely more of a sprints program than distance. So it's definitely, and I was coaching distance in college, so trying to empower them that like they can run, over 400 meters has been a work in progress. They think 400 meters is a distance event. I'm like, no, no, that's a sprint. We're gonna work
Yeah.
on this. But the kids are awesome, and I've really they make me laugh a lot, and um, it's been really rewarding to see the growth because I think that's the other thing that's maybe another big difference is obviously there's progress that happens in college, and we get to develop some of those athletes, but sometimes the light bulb moments, if you will, with the high schoolers is just so much bigger because they go from like, for example, we had one athlete who, when he first showed up, like couldn't even do one lap around the track to being able to like go on like 10-mile long runs. Like that's incredible. That's a really
Crazy.
incredible glow up for him and
Glow.
his career.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a high school term, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's I was not there. Okay, I take that back. When I was a freshman, I saw that they put the names on the uniforms, on the sweats and everything, which is why
Hmm.
I initially joined. And then ended up being the one of the team captains afterwards and stuff. So that's crazy. Because I'm just thinking about it. Like the language they used was something I didn't know. Like, and this was in like 2017, and certain words were just getting going and they kept using it. I was like, what does that mean? Like, what are you talking? Can you spell that? Like, can you formulate a sentence? And then they would be like, yeah, that was lit. I was like, all right, bet, cool. All right, sounds good. Like, I think, what was it, gas or something? Maybe that was a
Mm,
newer one.
yeah.
Like the first
Mhm.
time I heard that, I'm like, okay, did somebody fart? And they're like,
Yeah,
no,
what
that
is
means it's
it?
like, like, what is that good and stuff. So it's definitely different. But when they
Totally.
get it, like
Hmm.
mentally, and you see that you've been able to have an impact and everything, it hits differently. It
Totally.
hits
Yeah.
differently.
Hmm.
So let's get off running
Hmm.
a little bit. You are from Ohio, the great state of Ohio, Delaware, Ohio, to be
Hmm.
exact. I'm going to ask you a few Ohio related questions,
Okay.
and I want you to give me a few answers that fit the way you feel.
Okay.
What's your take on Skyline Chili?
Okay. Couple different okay, so first of all, I'm vegetarian. So
So we hate it, thank God.
yeah, so I don't eat the like classic chili, but they do have a very good vegetarian like version that's just like beans. Really good. Putting chili on spaghetti, very polarizing at first, but I think if you try it, you won't be disappointed.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody from who's come on this show from the great state of Ohio, you are the first one that actually likes Skyline Chili.
I mean, granted, I do the vegetarian version, but
That,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, so this one's going to be tough because you're a vegetarian, so you may not be
Mhm.
able to answer it. Raising Cane's.
Oh, okay. So I did eat meat for most of my life in Ohio. Um, go ahead.
What's your take on Raising Cane's if you've had
Okay.
it?
I am always like the only person in the room that is like, Raising Cane's is better than Chick-fil-A. Like
Oh,
I like loved Raising Cane's, but I also think that my memories are tied with it like when it first opened, when it was like this great thing that like hadn't really come to Ohio because like so in Delaware we didn't have Chick-fil-A or anything like that. I'm trying to remember where the first Raising Cane. I think maybe the first Raising Cane's I went to was in Columbus or maybe on the way back from a cross country meet somewhere and it like changed my life. Like the sauce, the toast, the crinkly fries, like everything about it. I was like, this is amazing. And then I would like tell people how amazing I thought it was. I'd be like, it's better than Chick-fil-A. I would really hype it up. And they would have it and they'd be like, this kind of sucks. And so I don't know if I just am like associating like some other memories, like the joy of like just being done with a cross country meet with Raising Cane's, but I used to love it.
everything hits differently after you run.
That's so true. Yeah.
Everything hits differently. So here's what I've been told about the Canes. I heard people in Ohio swear by it, so they just opened one in Orlando. I did not get a chance to go to Raising Cane's when I was in Ohio. I went to Waffle House instead, um, which love that place. Um, I heard the chicken sucks because they don't season it. They say the chicken is pure D nonsense. The fries are good. It's the crinkle cut fries, but there's this sauce and this bread. Now, for me, the bread looks like Pepperidge Farms, if I'm being honest.
A little bit, yeah.
But what is it about this sauce to where they're charging people? And like the sauce actually is a side item, which is
It's
crazy. Like,
so good. But I think
what?
that's like kind of the idea. Like the chicken, you're right, on its own, it is kind of bland. And I will say that they've definitely skimped on the size of the pieces. Like there's definitely a
Oh,
higher like breading to chicken ratio that was not in existence when I was a high schooler, which is many years ago now. But like I think it's plain because like the sauce just like really complements it very well, and you don't even need seasoning because the sauce
mhm.
is it's good. I would dare I say drink the sauce. I would do
That's crazy.
it.
Oh, you for real from first of all, that's crazy.
It's good. I
You
don't
would
know
drink
what
that?
yeah, it's really good. I dip my toast in it, I dip my fries in it. Like I'm like trying to get as much out as I can. I love cane sauce.
You probably like lick the container.
Oh yeah.
There's a influencer that submerged himself in cane sauce
I
to
don't
try.
think I'd go that far, but
First of all, you just wasting food like that. That I was
yeah,
like, like
true.
that sauce didn't do nothing to nobody. But I can't even ask the question. First of all, if there are people out there who really think that sauce replaces seasoning, we got to put you on the prayer list.
Ooh.
Somebody got to pray for you because that is insane. It does not. Maybe I'm from the South, so I feel very strongly
Yeah,
about my food, especially the stuff that's unhealthy. But no, that's I don't care how good that sauce is. You have to season it. You have because it would make it taste so much better. First of all, to your point, don't skimp out on the chicken tender
yeah,
sizes. That's horrible. And then you
I know.
charge more.
Hmm.
KFC did that the other day. I was so disgusted I didn't
Hmm.
know what to do. Gave me half a bird. I'm like, no, 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 no. I need the tenderloin. Like they, like, give me, please give me, something that equates to what I paid for. You would drink the sauce.
I would
That
drink.
is,
Hmm.
I wish, I hope I find somebody as loyal to me as you are to that sauce. Like that's what
Yeah.
we aspire to have in life. Everybody, that's the loyalty that we hope as people. That's what brings us together, loyalty. If you ain't on the drinking cane sauce level, don't talk to me. You got to go
Yep.
somewhere. Go to
Yep.
Chick-fil-A and get that nasty Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah. No,
And
inferior. Inferior.
no inferior. What are three fun facts that people do not know about the legend that is Sister Emily Richards?
Ooh. Um, this is one of my favorites. I was conference runner-up in the javelin in college.
I've read that.
Okay. I was like, you probably found that one. It's
Yeah.
on my IAAF profile. Um, I love cats. I have two named Pepper and Matcha. Um, another one. I was high school valedictorian.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
Well,
can
I guess
see
so my school did it a little bit differently. Like there were like multiple valedictorians. I was one of them, but I did give the commencement speech, um,
I
which
feel
was
like you were the
yeah.
coolest person to hang out with in high school.
No, probably not. But
No?
I don't know, maybe, but probably not.
No, don't do that. Yeah, I feel like because you did so many cool things. Like, first of all, anybody who throws the javelin, don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Because the javelin is a tough event. Two, I mean, that's really impressive, though.
Thank you.
That is really impressive. Like, what are you like with public speaking?
I think I'm decent at it. I definitely get nervous. I'm, as a journalist, more of a writer than a speaker, but I can do it.
Same here. Like, this is if I had to give a speech, it's weird doing this podcast and
Yeah.
stuff. So I had to train my mind to like, okay, people aren't going to listen and all this stuff. It's just me and the person I'm talking to. But it's like, oh
Hmm.
God, I have to give a speech. I mean, I can do it. I've done it, but it's like, I'd rather be behind my keyboard and
Hmm.
everything. Now, what
Yeah.
sparked your interest for writing? Because you're a good writer too.
Oh,
I've
thank
read the
you.
D3 Glory Days stuff. I was
Oh,
like,
thank
okay,
you.
poetry.
Oh, thank you. I guess this is a bonus fourth fun fact about Emily. Um, when from the time I was like in kindergarten, so basically starting school, my like goal in life was to become an author. So I have always loved reading and writing. Um, and it kind of like has evolved over the years. It started with just really loving to read. I started reading from like a really young age, like 3 years old, was already reading. I read The Hobbit in kindergarten. I loved books.
What?
Yeah, I loved reading. And that kind of translated to writing, so it like opened up my imagination. I love to write. And then in high school started taking journalism classes, and I found that I really liked telling nonfiction stories and other people's stories and learning kind of through them and figuring out how to tell their stories. And so that's something I stuck with in college, got a minor in journalism, and then get to use it now writing for D3 Glory Days.
Oh man, how rewarding is it for you?
Yeah, really cool.
It's
Yeah, so like maybe I'm not like a book author yet, but I have published articles, and that's like a very satisfying step. Yeah.
it really is. Like I majored in journalism in college and I've always wanted to be a journalist.
Hmm.
It's really cool. Just
Hmm.
even the it's I don't know. I want to be an author too. So
Hmm.
it's I don't know. Writing a book seems so like I don't want to say scary, but it's like, oh my God, you have so many thoughts and
Totally. And
everything.
like,
It's
how
like,
do I organize these? How do I get it right? Like, I'm with you. I've got a little bit of like paralysis.
yeah, and it's like, this is so. I actually started writing one, and then I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm gonna come back to this. That was like years ago,
Yeah.
but because it's just, I don't know, it's like scrambled eggs in your brain and
Hmm.
everything. Um, do you have any idea what you would want to write about?
No, I don't. Um, yeah, I'm not sure.
No, that's another thing. It's like, do you want to write kids' books? Do you want to
Right.
write other things? I don't know. I always thought I would do the remake of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series.
That is a good throwback. Yeah.
That is I don't know if you or anybody else listening would get that reference, but way back in the day, there was a series of books called Chicken Soup for the Souls, and all these influential people would write in these books. I was like, let's get the track version.
Yeah.
Sorry
I
about that
I know that would be great.
and stuff. I've been curious, what is a trend? It could be a trend, a TV show, a food, or whatever the case might be from your childhood that you wish would be brought back into this modern day. I've been
That's
asking this, but I'm
funny.
I'm curious to hear people's thoughts. It could be
Mhm.
clothing, food, television, music.
Oh man, there's so many. Yeah. Her. Can I say this? I don't, this might be
Okay,
a
how about
cop-out
two?
answer. Okay, go ahead.
I'll give you multiple. Get
Okay.
multiple. But go ahead. Whatever ones, multiple options you want. You can
Okay.
say whatever.
So it might be a cop-out answer, but I was gonna say like playing outside because I feel like I don't know. I sound so crotchety when I say this, but I'm like, oh, kids these days are always on their screens. But I don't know. Like, I feel a lot of joy when I see a kid like playing outside, or I don't know, adults like spending time outside, playing outside, spending time outdoors. I feel like that's a bit of a lost art in the age of technology.
That's been the number one answer on this show.
Really? Okay. Hmm.
That and like the world without phones, like how
Yeah,
it
I
used to
am so
be
with that. Yeah.
and stuff. Or even like you could have a phone, but the phone wasn't as advanced
Hmm.
then as it was now. Like you could have a phone, but you still have to, you know, go outside and do stuff. You still have to go on a computer and look up something, or you still had to go if you wanted to read a book, you couldn't read it on a Kindle
Yeah.
or phone. You had to go to the
Go to the
library.
library. Like, do people still go to the library? I hope so. I
I
know they do,
use
but
No, but it's weird. I used to nerd out when I was in college. So we had the Orlando Public Library, and I
Mhm.
grew up reading. My mom read to me. They used to have something called story time back in the day, and my mom used to take me when I was a kid, and they would read to all of us kids. And like I miss that. I used to. Did I buy it? No, I checked out a book or I bought it. I forgot. But I would rent a study room, and I would have jazz music and I would listen to jazz music and read a good book. Like,
so you were also cool in high school, right?
what is your definition of cool?
See, that's how I'm answering the question as well. Yeah, like I think
Like,
that's cool, but
what is your definition of cool? Like, what quality do you appreciate about yourself? Like,
mm,
what is that definition?
I think just like to put it like not very eloquently, like just down with anything, like people who like are avid learners love to learn about something. If they don't know about something, they're open to like learning about it. They're open to new experiences. They're involved in a lot of different things, like not just like single-minded. I think that's cool.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had different friend groups back in the day.
Hmm.
So it wasn't just like, oh, I hung out with all the football players. It's like, nah, like everybody, kind of hung out. For the most part, like I hung out with the drama kids, even though it was just like hanging out with people continuously doing High School Musical, uh, whatever the case might be. So, no, I do agree with you. Going outside, actually getting a chance to know people and interact with them face to face instead of certainly like Zoom and FaceTime and various things like that help, but
Hmm.
um, I think that I like the television. And I always talk about the music. I listen to old people music, like Motown and jazz and all that
Love it.
stuff.
Yeah, I listen to classic rock mostly. The Beatles is probably my number. It's gonna be number one on my Spotify Wrapped, I think.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
I was just listening. So I was thinking about this. Like my classic rock, if I had a go-to band that I could listen to anytime, it was Hall and Oates.
Mm.
Um, but I like the Eagles as well. There was a band, an English, I don't know where, actually, well, I'm saying they're English, they're from Los Angeles. But they're called Ambrosia or Ambrosia or whatever the case
Okay.
might be. But then I dug the Beatles and stuff. What is your go-to Beatles song?
They're all so good. Depends on my mood, definitely. But Hey Jude, I think I really like.
Hey Jude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know if you've heard this song, but you probably have. They wrote a song called In My Life.
Yep.
I don't know. Anytime it rains, that song gets me so emotional.
Yeah, that's like I think you could span thousands of emotions listening to all their songs.
I was like, there are places I
Yeah,
remember
it's
all
so
my
good.
life.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, got me think about people who ain't here no more. Just
Yeah,
like
you get in your feels,
every,
definitely.
I'd love that song. I know you.
Hmm.
That's what I said. We would have got along because you're like a
Yeah,
classic. You are a classic rock, old soul, old G, and I am
totally.
so with that.
Yeah.
As I as I change this battery real quick, I love that. Now, see, you got me thinking about the Beatles and stuff like
Yeah,
that because they're such a good band, and these kids don't know.
I
Like,
know. Yeah.
like if you went and said, "Hey, did you hear the song by the Beatles?" They would think that you're talking about an animal,
Yeah,
or
maybe
and
that's what I want to bring back is the Beatles.
oh man, that is. Listen, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so gonna ask you this question. Um, and then, well, two more questions. Then we're gonna do our last segment where you can fire some stuff back at me. First thing, what are you the most excited about for this season?
Hmm. I'm gonna break 2 minutes in the 800. I'm excited because I know I'm gonna do it.
What is, oh, I love that. Say it
Mhm.
loud, say it proud. What is going to be the celebration? Whether it's a meal, a dance, a part of whatever. How are you going to celebrate?
PR milkshake.
PR milkshake. What kind?
Yeah. I guess it depends on where you get it from. I in college, my like postseason go-to milkshake was from Dairy Queen. It's an
Okay.
Oreo milkshake with cheesecake bits in it.
Oh,
It's really good.
I know which one you're talking about. I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Mhm. Yeah, I just had
Oh,
the strawberry cheesecake from Wawa. Also very good.
Wawa different though.
Yeah, it's
Wawa
true.
different. There's another place in the Midwest called Sheets that's apparently
Yep.
supposedly Wawa S, but Wawa different. Wawa, Bucky's, all them.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna hate on it
Yeah,
because Wawa different. Wawa's different.
that's true.
Last but certainly not least, let me just say this. I don't know when you're gonna break two, but can let me know because I'm coming up there too.
All
Because
right.
I got to give me one. We're gonna do a live at Lactic Acid. Breaking, they have Breaking Bad. We're gonna have it. It's gonna be called Breaking Two
Excellent.
and everything. Dairy Queen sponsored this so we can get free milkshakes. We don't need to
Yes,
pay if she
yes.
breaking two minutes in 800. Like it takes you longer to run an 800 than it does them to make a milkshake. Think about that. You're
Yeah, that's
running
true.
800 meters faster than they can make a milkshake.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yes. Nobel Peace Prize. Um, are you having fun? and why?
Yeah, definitely. Did you say why?
Yeah.
I think it goes back to kind of what we talked about earlier. Like, I'm just really grateful that I get to do this. I feel like I'm on like definitely the back end of my running career, so there's no excuse not to be having fun. Like, you sacrifice so much in this sport, and if you're not having fun, like you just have to be. So, I forget the original question. It was, are you having fun and why?
You
Is that the
answered it.
question? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just grateful.
Well, you're on the back end, but I always believe you're saving the best for last,
Hmm.
basically. Now you have survived the interrogation process. So,
Excellent.
do, do you have questions for me, or are we playing Would You Rather?
I think we should play Would You Rather.
Okay. Well, since you're my guest, I'll allow you to go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it goes both ways. Okay. Hmm. I looked up and I saw I have a cactus. I'm thinking how I can put that in a question. Hmm. Would you rather eat a cactus or use a porcupine as a pillow for
I
an
just, I'm
hour
just
nap?
gonna die. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna die. No, because
I don't
that's
know
what's
what the
gonna
nature of
happen.
these questions are. I don't know.
It could be anything, but that's crazy
Okay,
and everything.
okay.
So
Okay.
I would rather. Okay, well, first of all, you can eat a cactus.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, tacos. It's
Oh,
common in tacos, right?
yeah. So you can eat a cactus,
I'm talking like, okay, I'm gonna show you this cactus. Like
but
if you just bit into this.
I'm gonna die. Like
Okay,
I'm
okay.
going to stuff. So that's. I mean, listen, it's not a bad question. It's like, are you ready to go see the Lord? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. So which one? You trying to go take a nap on a porcupine? You trying to have a two-piece with a
It's like
cactus?
acupuncture, right?
That's true. Therapy and everything, just on your lips, head, shoulders, and all those other fun places. So listen, it's not a bad question. It's very creative, so I'm not mad at it. So. Would you rather be stuck? Actually, I'm not going to say that. Would you rather have to travel 5 days a week for 1 year or never leave the location that you're in for 1 year? So when you're
Like,
traveling 5 days a week, you're visiting any place that you want to go, but
hmm,
you're gone 5 days a week, 2 days
you have to go
rest.
like a, do you have to go a different place every day, or you could be like 5 days at a time, you go to a different place?
Both. So 6 months, five different places, 6 months, one solid place.
Oof, that's tough. I think though, we kind of have some perspective on what it's like to have to stay home,
That's
given
true.
like the recent events with the pandemic. And I definitely went very stir crazy. And even though travel can be super exhausting, I think it'd be a really cool way to see the world. I think I would go with travel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
'Cause it's like there's no place like home until you're home
Hmm.
and can't can't go. Because
Yeah.
it's one thing to not want to go anywhere, but like when you can't go anywhere, that's when it gets a little crazy and stuff. Okay, so what is your next question?
Okay, I won't do like a pain one.
It's okay.
Um,
I
hmm.
actually like I actually like the it was honestly creative. So I'm honestly not mad at it.
Let's see. Would you rather mm, run 100 miles, like a ultra marathon, or swim 26.2 miles? I don't know if those are equivalent.
Ooh, that's tough.
Hmm.
I would say, okay, could I walk?
Yeah.
I'm running. I don't do water like that.
Hmm.
Like I just started trusting the liquid enough to drink it a few years ago. Let alone because here's the thing, you're probably swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, because where else are you going to get that distance? A pool,
Yeah,
that'd be so many laps.
yeah, like that's gosh, I don't even know how many laps it'd be like a bajillion laps.
Yeah.
Um, but you're starting, there's animals that you have no idea what's there. So, you could be with a shark, a whale, a jellyfish. You could literally swim down to Bikini Bottom and and that could be nah. And then if you get tired, like you still have to
Yeah,
work to keep yourself afloat. So
that is true. Yeah.
that's a good question though, because 100 miles is just silly.
Yeah.
Um, Even though a friend of mine,
Oh, yeah, people do it.
he mentioned, I guess out in Vegas, there's 100 miler from like Vegas, somewhere in California to Vegas.
Hmm.
And he's like, we should do it. I said, we who? We better be French. Because I'm like, but I'm thinking about it
Yeah.
in 100 years and
Yeah.
stuff. So, okay. I got one and a half more.
Okay.
And then I'll let you take one more, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Who is your favorite author?
Ooh, Token.
Token.
I like
Okay.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Would you rather have Token write a book about you or the Beatles write a song about you?
The Beatles write a song about me, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Hmm. Why? Um, I don't know. I love Tolkien's writing for the story, but I do think like if you wrote a story about me, it would probably just be like a little verbose and like not that. I don't know if people would read it, but I think people would listen to a Beatles song.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I, I believe in his ability to write a story about me. I think I would want to be an elf. Um, but I think a song would be better.
I think a song would be better too because they could do the remastered version.
True.
You break two, they hit the remix,
Yeah,
then and everything. People start to sample the song and
true.
everything.
Yeah,
And I don't know, something about music that tells its own story. Good
yeah,
music. And they
totally.
made good music. Okay, your last one. And then I have the most important question you'll answer ever.
Okay. Um, hmm.
Now I have the Beatles stuck in my head, the answer.
Yeah, you probably will. Yeah, in my life will be stuck. It's stuck in my head too. Um, hmm. Okay. Would you rather? Hmm, what's a food you don't like?
Oh, that's a great question. I hate fish that's not cooked, so sushi.
Hmm. Okay. Would you rather have to eat 5 rolls of sushi or 20 pieces of plain Cane's chicken?
Dang!
Sorry, I'm doing really negative ones.
I'm almost tempted to eat that cactus you brought up. Like,
Oh,
honestly, I'd rather eat the cactus.
okay, that's the third option. Nice. Yeah.
That's
That's how
if
much you
that's
really
the
don't like unseasoned
that's
chicken.
if that's the case, I just will go vegan. I will eat
Yeah,
vegan skyline chili. So,
it's good.
uh, no, I can't eat. No, if water has more seasoning than your chicken, then that's a problem and stuff.
It
So
is
I can't.
plain. Hmm.
Okay. So this is the last question of the show, and it's the most important question that you will answer. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes,
Do you need a second? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Why does kindness matter to you?
Oh, I like that question. Well, as a Midwesterner, I definitely miss how kind people can be because if you've ever been to New York, there are a lot of kind people here, but people can also be very cold. Um, I think kindness is important because everybody is in a different walk of life and you never know what they're going through. And especially today with all of the mental health struggles people go through, a small, small act of kindness can go a really, really long way. So I would always choose to be kind rather than not.
Well, I appreciate you extending kindness and coming on the show. I appreciate you. Listen, she gonna break two. Y'all better watch out, watch as well as pray that you don't miss it. I know you shared it earlier, but tell the people where they can find you on social media and support your journey.
Yeah, mostly just Instagram, E underscore RICH number two, and then ONE, E Rich to Run. Or sorry, not ONE, RUN. I actually changed the handle like a couple years ago. E underscore Rich to Run is my Instagram.
And listen, you can find her writing at D3 Glory Days too, so you definitely
Yeah,
can't miss that. Love,
definitely.
peace, and chicken grease, and we'll catch you next time.